Welcome back. Women want you not to talk to them when dating them, when in a relationship with them, so that they can feel attracted to you. Yes, the one lady you are dating right now, you have a serious relationship with her, and maybe you think it can actually eventually lead to something serious. She doesn't want you to actually talk to her so that she can feel, sorry about that, I don't know if I have a mic. There is category A, category B, and then category C. But then there is the last category that will allow you learn or identify that you are maybe dealing with the right lady, or a woman who has already maybe worked on herself, and maybe she is aware when it comes to emotions, feelings, pulling back. Okay, so she doesn't want you to actually talk to her because, number one, she has the avoidant attachment style. Now, the only way she can feel more attracted to you, and maybe you can have a serious relationship with this lady, and maybe it can succeed, is to allow her act in ways she feels it's right for her. That is why I'm telling you, you do not need to talk to her every time you have a conversation with her, and maybe it involves some emotional opening up, some emotions, some actions. In this very moment, you are trying to show Hannah that she needs to open up. But the avoidant attachment style, it is her coping mechanism, and maybe she was hurt in her past. And the only way she can fall in love is for her to consistently invest in you, but she doesn't want to open up because she doesn't know how to deal with the emotions. And every time you try to have a serious conversation with Hannah, it will seem as if you are intruding her private life. It will unfold in a form of, she will always be on the dismissive side, and maybe she will feel often offended, and she will guilt trip. She will always try to sway the conversation, dominate the conversation, and blame it on you. And remember, she's not doing this consciously, and even it will come off as if she is narcissistic, because the only coping mechanism she has is to act as if she is winning and she is in control. And until she has a perception that she is in control, because it communicates that now she is safe. But once she tries to open up, now that is a signal that her private life of emotions is now being intruded by you. And she will pull back, she will get angry, agitated, and even she will overreact. Not because it's about what you are talking about, but she doesn't know how to deal with the emotions, and she can self-regulate when she has an avoidant attachment style, where sometimes she will try to avoid conflict consistently, or she will brush it off. And maybe it's something you can have a conversation with, but the moment she can feel like it's escalating, or things are somehow turning the other way around, she will sway every conversation so that you can't find any fault in her. And she will show the behaviors of a controlling partner and a dominating partner. No, she's not dominating, but the dominating characters that she is acting on are not healthy for you, but they are the coping mechanism for her to survive and have a healthy relationship to her own definition of healthy. And now, you will even label her as narcissistic, as controlling, if you don't understand that she is acting this to reinforce and magnify the coping mechanism for her to feel safe. And she only needs to slowly start to open up when she feels like the environment finally, eventually, it feels more safe for her to open up. And it won't be within one night or 2 weeks or maybe 1 month or maybe 5 months. It will take a longer period of time, and when she's about to open up, you will come up with another disagreement because she did something that you don't feel good about, or she did something that maybe had a negative impact on you. And now you want to solve this, right? But remember, she doesn't know about solving problems. She only knows how to cope up with the situation, and she doesn't want to talk about it because that is the only way she can handle every situation. And when you are dealing with this lady, Every time she feels like the environment is safe, she will always want to be in control. How? She will want to sustain the state of that relationship that maybe convinces her or communicates to her that it's more safe. Even when there will be challenges ahead, she will try to brush it off so that maybe she can escape the conflict by trying to maintain the state of the relationship, maybe excitement or happiness. But there is no sustaining a specific emotion on the universe. The moment you are the one who is trying to sustain, Now, the only way this relationship can work, Isaac, is when you don't consistently talk to her. Like we are having a conversation and then you want to dive deeper to understand what happened. Okay? And then, or maybe she tells you that she talked to her brother and then you ask, okay, what did he say? What did you talk about? That turns her off. Not because it's about you, but it's about her emotions. She thinks she knows how to regulate her emotions, but she has a coping mechanism that is unhealthy to you. But she convinces herself that she can self-regulate emotionally. It is healthy to her because she can't get attached to the emotions. The moment she feels like she needs to open up and have a conversation with you and maybe talk about something that is private to her, then it's a confirmation that you are trying to ruin my coping mechanism. You are trying to get me be connected with you, but I was hurt and I can't connect with you. Even when I try my level best, I can't just do it, and the only way I can deal with your questions is to brush it off, to ignore you, or to act as if it wasn't that much important. It's as if you are trying to convince me to emotionally or force me to emotionally open up, and I know you will tell me it's just about something. She came up with the conversation, she came up with the topic, right? I just want to know, I just want to talk about it. Now, she is in control of you logically, obviously, but she is only in control of you because you want to know. The moment she come up with a conversation, the only coping mechanism you will also have or need to apply is to know that it's not that much important. She wants to talk about it, but again, she wants to do it on her own pace. But she doesn't know that that is how she is analyzing every situation in a nuanced form that is calculated but not seen. So every time you act and try to ask, what happened? Okay, what did you talk about? Okay, when was that? It pushes or signals a specific perception of reality in her own definition of reality. At this very moment, you think, oh, but that is unhealthy. Yes, it is unhealthy to you because you are the one who cares so much. That's why I tell you, don't talk to them. Don't consistently try to inquire. And I know you will ask me, but when the moment you say but, just don't date them. The moment you say but she's wrong or but she needs to work on herself, but it's not healthy, the moment you have the word but, just don't date her. Again, Isaac, the moment you say but, don't date her. Because the only way you can have a relationship with her is by not talking to her consistently. And when she comes up with a conversation to talk about, don't try to intervene and understand. And when you talk about something, she will want to be in control and dominate it, because feeling like she is in control gives her a specific perception of reality. And when you pull back or set clear boundaries, she will look for a way to cope up with your boundaries. But again, she needs to act in ways that again communicate safety to her. So she will slowly start to invest. And when she tries to communicate that she wants you to do something, and it shows that she's too much controlling, you set a boundary, she will do something that will make herself feel good. Maybe commit, maybe show more love, show more care. Now, this is a confirmation that you are the one who is in power. I know. Again, I know you say, but she doesn't want me to ask questions. Yet she is coming up with a conversation. Don't talk about it. She talks about something, change the topic. if you know that when you talk about it, she will pull back or she will brush it off because it will affect you. If she tries to control the situation, because maybe that is another coping mechanism, don't fall for that if it's not healthy to you. If you care so much doing everything, eventually, Isaac, you are going to burn out. I'm telling you from experience. You care so much, you really want to show love, but again, it communicates to her that she has to be in an emotional state of being. And when she is in an emotional state of being, she can't be in an intimate state of being. And if she is also in an intimate state of being, it's as if she just needs to experience the fleeting feeling, which is the pleasure, and nothing more intimate, nothing more deep. But when you are not connected to her emotionally, when it comes to sexually, she will want to connect with you in a deeper level, because again, she can enjoy it, for there is a blanket that has blocked her away from getting emotionally attached to you, yet to just experience this moment and then give you a perception or give you an illusion that maybe she is attached, but she's not attached. She has a unique coping mechanism that allows her just to take what she needs, but she doesn't know again. Take what she needs, give what she needs, because giving that and investing that communicates that this is a healthy relationship. And again, as I said, it's not that she is narcissistic. Come on. It's not that she is narcissistic nor controlling. That is her coping mechanism. And the only way she can know that she has that coping mechanism that is unhealthy is when you have to slowly come up with a conversation that will need or will push her to open up, because most of the time she doesn't want to feel like she is always losing. Again, she doesn't want to always feel like she's always losing. I'm very sure we have men who have an avoidant attachment style. And you can agree with me. You are not narcissistic, you are not toxic, you are not controlling, but you have that coping mechanism. Now, with this lady, she doesn't want to feel like she is losing the conversation and you are always winning. For example, when you say, I'm feeling this way because of you, then this is a confirmation that you are winning, Isaac. She caused something, okay? She acted in ways that affected you. Again, she acted in ways that affected you. When you confront her, she will either dismiss your emotions and not make it a big deal, or she will brush it off and assume that it's not that much a huge deal that you're trying to make out of it, right? But it affected you. Instead of her agreeing and maybe saying sorry, she will come up with a way that will convince you that actually you are too much and your emotions is your problems. Why? You have been paying so much attention to her, and paying so much attention to her, you are investing in her, and she can just sense or feel a certain type of energy from you. When you blame her for that, she will guilt trip, because every time you blame her for that, you are trying to win. It's not about the situation, it's about you winning, and she doesn't want you to win. For winning, somehow will push and force her to be vulnerable and open up and say sorry, and maybe you will need to have a conversation in an emotional state, but she doesn't know how to deal with her own emotions, and she can have that difficult conversation, and she will just walk away, dismiss. If she's willing to have a conversation with you, she will make sure that she doesn't feel guilty, and when she feels guilty emotionally, it will affect her and it will push her further away. That is another thing. So the only way to still have a relationship that maybe you can still communicate is she needs to feel as if you are not winning, and this is something that will help us all, and it's not about you. Like, she will always feel as if you are taking something, not that she feels it, but she will always look in that way. You are always taking something away from her. You're not doing it, but she feels it that way. Mostly, she will show characters and behaviors of someone who is controlling and narcissistic. For example, a narcissistic person will dismiss the conversation when you raise an issue that maybe has caused or has a negative impact on you. Or they will always try to be on the victim side, as if you are the reason why we are having this argument, but they caused it. They will blame it on you. That is the same thing that will happen when you are having a conversation with a woman who has an avoidant attachment style. For her to feel good and at least to have a healthy relationship, she doesn't need to be extremely happy. She needs to also invest in that. And if the relationship is in a form of too much excitement, she will need to invest in it. Okay? Because that allows her not to open up in a form of emotion, but it sustains a feeling of comfortability, security, and safety. Trust me, you can never date a woman who has an avoidant attachment style unless you know you have the power. How? You don't just follow everything they tell you. You don't pay attention to details. And a relationship needs details, but the moment you pay attention to details, then you are telling them that you don't trust them. And when you show that, not that you are telling them that, but you need to understand, but now they see it that way, and that doesn't communicate safety, and she will feel like she's not safe. When she's around you, she can't open up because you will consistently want to know. She will sometimes communicate things that aren't even accurate, and you can even end up making a mistake, right? Because of how they communicated about something. But then later on, they will change the same topic. But a narcissistic person will also act the same way. A narcissistic person is doing this to serve their own self-interest. Right? But then a lady, a woman who has an avoidant attachment style, she is doing this to sustain security, safety, but at the same time to sustain that coping mechanism. And you have to be willing to set clear boundaries. And it's not easy. Sometimes you will find yourself having a conversation with them, then arguing, but then after 1 week you will realize they still have this character in them. You thought maybe they will work on themselves and things will be better, right? And maybe every time you try to have a conversation, you realize that they are always blaming you. They're not willing to even compromise. They're not willing even to apologize. They can only apologize if it sways and moves with their coping mechanism. No, you cannot date them. If you use the word but, you cannot be with them. But it's toxic. You can't date them. You have to fully be willing to date them. Have a serious relationship with them. The moment there is but, just walk away. Another thing is, these are the women that end up most of the time being lonely because they can't be with anyone. For they act in ways that shows or communicates control, domination, and maybe narcissistic. So people cannot understand that that is their coping mechanism. What it communicates to other people, they are controlling, they are dominating, they are narcissistic. Because eventually, if you can't reinforce the boundary, she will act in ways that will be narcissistic to you. But again, that is her coping mechanism. It's not narcissistic. Because she's not aware that she is acting in ways that is causing harm to you. But for a narcissistic person, she knows she is acting this way. And it is narcissistic. And she's doing this to self-serve. But now someone who has an avoidant attachment style, they are totally innocent. And when they try to understand that it's their emotions, they try to adjust so that at least they can work with themselves. But it's all about their emotions. And you need to be willing to accept that. I don't want you to say but. Once you say but, just walk away. It's not meant for you. Second type of a lady, it is the anxious attachment woman. The lady who has an anxious attachment style. This is a lady who wants constant reminder, constant updates. You have to always call her, then always update her, and always tell her this, and always try to show her these and things, right? But then sometimes her emotions will be extremely in a negative state, because when she is anxious, the moment she is in an emotional state, her anxieties are rising. She pays attention to what is close to her, and what is close to her, it's you, Isaac. And since it is you, it's now about the relationship. Something is wrong, something is off, and something will be off, but it won't be what she is talking about, because it's not that a big deal. And she will consistently feel negative vibes, negative energies, because of the anxieties and the insecurities, and she feels like she can't get what she thinks it's supposed to work. For example, she wants a relationship to lead to a marriage, but then she is always trying to control to have that. Fact is, you can't control things. You can't make things work for you unless you are willing to let go. Be willing to live in that state of being. So she will consistently want to understand things, and she will over-evaluate without knowing, because every time you have a conversation with her, she needs to make sure that the conversation is always in a specific emotional state that communicates security and safety, and it's working. And she also needs to make sure that soon we will have a marriage and the relationship will work. And she will keep pushing things, not because she wants things to be in that state, but the anxieties and the anxious attachment style pushes her to always have security, to have a feeling that I need this to work. The fact is, it will not work. Why? Most of the time when you are with this lady, you will act in ways that maybe you are systematic, okay? But then she is anxious. She can't be patient with anything. This is a fact that you can't be in a relationship with her. And the advantage with an anxious attachment woman is, the advantage again is, if she knows that she has that weakness in her, she will look for a way to deal with that. But if she doesn't realize that, again, if she again doesn't realize that and learn that and use it as a way of trying to also accept her weaknesses, she will consistently be starting chaos and drama, because she doesn't know how to deal with her emotions, and you are always the problem. Now, here is the worst thing that will happen. You are the avoidant guy, she is the anxious attached woman. My friend, everything is going to collapse if both of you are not aware of your own emotions and your attachment styles. And the only way to know these feelings and emotions is to accept that everyone has a state of attachment. Everyone has a style of attachment. This person will have an anxious attachment style. The other one will have an avoidant attachment style. The other one will have a secure attachment style. And then the other one will have an attachment style that is not constant. Like, you won't understand them. And the only people who can have a relationship and it can work for you is the person who has a secure attachment style. And if you are also someone who has a secure attachment style, Isaac. But then here is one thing. Most of the time, these attachment styles, they can give you a better hand. For example, a woman who has an anxious attachment style, even when she will always be on the defensive side, when you come up with a conversation or an argument, she will eventually be on board to solve the problem. Again, something happened, a problem came up, we need to solve it. She will be on the defensive side, but later on, she will be on board the anxious attachment side, because she wants security. That is one thing. So she will be on board. But now the avoidant attachment lady will try to escalate the situation so that she can look for a way to cope up with the situation and just let it go. Or she will dismiss the conversation. And then a secure attachment person, they will also be on board when there is what? When there is a disagreement, they will be on board without judgment. Okay? And now there's someone who is not even, this is a lady who isn't in a specific attachment style. She's she is a confused element woman. Like, you can't identify in which state of attachment she belongs. You will think that she is in this state, and then you try to have a conversation, and then she moves to this state, and then when everything is working out, and then she moves to this state, and then when you communicate security, and then she avoids to get attached, and then when you pull back, she comes back. She comes not because she is an avoidant attached woman, but she is just in a weird state of attachment that can't really be identified. And if you are not aware that you are dealing with someone who is in this state of a mixed reaction that you can't tell, you can predict, this is the higher chance to walk away is going to work against you. That is why with an anxious attached woman, you don't need to talk to her again. With an anxious attached woman, you need to ignore her, because every time you talk to her, you are giving her security. But now you are magnifying that attachment style, and she's not healing. And she needs to be aware that that attachment style, that is an anxious attachment style, it is in her. And every time she has an argument, a disagreement, she wants security. It's not about you, it's about what is in her. And she needs to look for a way to deal with it by accepting and then slowly healing. But there must be a way to heal that. By accepting that I have this, maybe because I have gone through past trauma, okay, maybe an abandonment, something, maybe depression, I don't know what. And until she accepts again, until she accepts that that state exists in her, that is not to solve it, but to feel those emotions, feel those feelings when it does happen. And there is more to that. Maybe have friends around, have other families around, so that maybe she can empty the bottle sometimes by not emptying the anxieties, but most of the time they feel good when they help other people. That is another thing. They feel good when they try to solve something because it keeps them busy, and there is more to that. So she needs a lot. But now there will be a lot of fire in that relationship if you are the avoidant attachment man and she is the anxious attachment woman, or you are the anxious attachment man, then she is the avoidant attachment woman. That is going to be so tough for you guys. I promise you, it's not going to be easy. You have to accept that first, because everyone is trying to get security and the other person wants to enhance their coping mechanism, because that is the only way they can survive. At least that is how they think about it. Okay, so those are the four women: the secure attached women, the anxious attached women, the avoidant attached women, and then the women who are not in a specific category. You can never understand them. Today they are on this side, tomorrow they are on this side. Like, they are so unpredictable in ways you can think that they are toxic and narcissistic. Yes, they are, because you have to have something going on. That is why you are acting in a certain way. Or you have to have a past hurt. That is what is going on in your life. And until you deal with your emotions, my friend, don't talk to these women until they know those emotions and those feelings exist in them. For that will allow you guys to have a successful marriage, or a successful relationship, or a successful dating life that might lead to something serious. Yeah, it won't be easy. I just wanted to have a conversation with you guys so that you can be aware that you are dealing with women who are in different types of states, and you are not aware because they are not even also aware that they are in a specific state. For example, no, I'm not open up about that until things get better. Then I will open up to you guys. Yeah, I know. Are you a new member? Welcome on board.